now. Let me make sure I am live on Instagram as well. What's up? Oh my, see, you can hear me, but it's a lag. All right. Is it working? Here we go. It's Monday, you all. Hope y'all doing well. Oh man, here we go. These issues. I think it's this cord, because I need a Type-C cord, and I can't find my. I tried to look for it before this. I can't find it anyway. I have a new one somewhere. But of course, isn't that how it happens? When you need it, you can't find it. But give me 1 second or a couple seconds to make sure this is all set up. And then we will get started. All right. Hope y'all are doing good this week. Started this week. Sorry about any noise that happens. Let's see. So if you don't know, our topic for this week is going to be your mindset and self-talk. Okay, this is very important. All the things are important that I talk about, because that's why I talk about it. Got a helicopter going over. But I'm gonna pull this up so that I can see the chats happening, and then we can get started. All right. Let's get this going. Ooh, I just ate. My goodness. Just hitting my stomach now. All right, I'm gonna pull up the chat for YouTube. Thank you all for joining me. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. Okay, there we go. All right. So before I get into talking about your mindset, and if the audio is not good, please let me know so that I can try and fix it, because I don't want to go the whole time and the audio is not good. If there is something that I can do about it. I'm going to give it a couple minutes so people can come in. I look tired because I am tired. But we're here. We're here. We can do this. Okay. So we have YouTube caption up. We have Instagram up. And all right, there we go. Awesome. Welcome everyone into this live. We talk about mindset mastery and self-talk. Why is it important? The way that you talk to yourself. Why is that important? Aware of how you talk to yourself. And I'm not talking about talking out loud necessarily. I mean, I am to a certain degree, but majority of what you're saying to yourself in your head, in your subconscious, without thinking about it. All right. Oh my. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's a struggle, but you know what? We keep moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you're not on the live right now, you can watch the recording. So I'm not going to be long today. We're going to get right to it, get straight to the point, and so we can continue on with our week. But so I wanted to kind of go back a little bit and recap some things with you, because I want to make sure that you are getting like the full picture of what I'm talking about and how it all connects, and also why I am talking about these topics and in this order as well. Especially if you missed my first live talking about what this habit challenge is and why it is important and all of the things. So I really want to touch real quick on what a holistic lifestyle is, if you don't already know. Now, I have a video on my Instagram and my TikTok that you can watch, and it talks about what a holistic lifestyle is. But real quick, simplified version is it takes the mind, the body, and the spirit, and it says that they all are connected, and one impacts the other. So if you are off in one area, it's going to impact the other areas. So living a holistic lifestyle means that you are basically living an intentional lifestyle. Like that just kind of encompasses it all. An intentional lifestyle, which means you have to have a reason that you're living intentionally for. You have to understand who you are to be able to live that way. And you also, again, just being intentional in all those areas and understanding that you have an impact on not just yourself, but others too. So it's a broader scale to it, but simplified, like I said, is that you are intentional about how one impacts the other in yourself. And once you realize and understand that and work on that, then you can impact others outside of you just from doing that work on yourself. So to be able to live a holistic lifestyle and an intentional life, you have to have a strategy. Like, you have to have a vision, and not just a vision, but how do you implement things to live that life, that vision out? And so, that takes a little bit of work, which is why we have this habit challenge, because I'm starting with like the foundation. Like, we're laying a good foundation right now to then move forward and add other layers to it. I don't want to jump straight to like, let's hit these goals, let's do this, let's do that. Like, obviously, if you haven't stuck with it now, then you're not going to stick with it because it just hasn't worked for you before. So we're trying to approach this slightly different. Excuse like my hair and all. I just got back from working out. Like I said, I just ate real quick so I can get on here. But yeah, so in order to implement your holistic lifestyle, in order to implement the strategy for that vision that you have to get clear on who you are. And I talked about this before, your identity, who you are. You have to get clear on why you're doing the things that you're doing. And then you have to believe that you can be that person, that you are going to live that lifestyle, that it is possible to have those things and do those things. So again, this is why I'm taking the topics and breaking them down into these weekly lives to hopefully help you understand one topic at a time, why it's important to be intentional in those areas. So let's see. A big thing, though, that I want to point out is that when in this holistic lifestyle and in being intentional, a big part about it, if you haven't understood it yet, is your mindset. If your mind isn't right, you can't get your body right consistently and keep it right. If your spirit isn't right, you're not going to get your mind right. So a part of understanding your identity and why you're doing the things, which is your belief system, that's a deeper spiritual thing that you have to look at. Because you're going to look at why you're here. What is your purpose? What is your mission here? So these are deeper things that you have to look at and spend time on. If you have not already, you should do that. It's not something to get anxiety about or anything like that. If you are, then we need to take a step back and approach this differently. So send me a message and we can talk through it and see the best way for you to go about this. But just look at it. I mean, things can change. So you can pick a mission in life and change it later. You don't have to pick this mission and say, "Yeah, that's it," and then later be like, "Well, this is what I chose, and I don't want to do it anymore," blah blah, and like feel anxious about it and things like that. Like, you can change. It's just a marker for you to go towards, and as you go towards it, you're gonna get clearer on it. You're gonna understand that, oh, maybe it's not quite what I want, or not quite the direction I want to be in. It's more so in this way. So you're going to change as you move forward, but we need at least a vision, a plan, or a direction, that strategy I talked about, so that we can start living a lifestyle towards that and just start making improvements towards that. As we go, you continue to make improvements. Like, you're not going to get it right the first time, the second time, third time, the 10th time. Like, you're constantly improving and adjusting and things like that. So you got to go easy on yourself, especially if it's the first time doing something, you're not going to get it right. Okay. It's a learning process. It's a process. I always talk about trust the process. You really have to trust the process. It's in the journey that's important. It's in the journey that you learn these things and you learn more about yourself. It's not the destination, it's in the journey. Okay. But in the journey, to be able to withstand the journey and what comes with the journey, you have to work on your mind. This is a part of laying that foundation I was talking about. This is a part of nurturing the soil that you put your seed into. You can't just put your seed into any kind of soil. You can't just throw your seed out the window and hope it grows. Okay, you have to plant your seed in some good soil that's nourished. Now we have, and I'm using this as like a metaphor, but like literally our soil is depleted right now. We have deficiencies. It's an epidemic. Like this is a literal thing. But I'm talking more spiritually and mentally, but it is also physically out in our world and our environment as well. So this is a lot deeper than just what I'm saying right now, but we're going to keep it a bit surface level for everyone. But you have to nurture that soil that you want your seed to be planted into. What is your soil? Well, your soil is your mind right now. That's what we're talking about. So how do you nurture your mind? How do you strengthen your mind? How do you change your mindset? Because in order to change your life, in order to be consistent and know that you deserve these things and move in that direction consistently, even through the hardships, to keep going through the hardships, you have to have the strength here. That's going to keep you going. Okay, it's not just positive thinking. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about self-talk. That's why I added that in there. Not just mindset and positive thinking. I'm talking about self-talk. So let's just go on and get into this. Okay. So I'm talking about being intentional. And we're talking about your mindset. So I just want to ask you right now, think about this. How do you talk to yourself? When you look in the mirror, what do you say to yourself? Whether you say it loud or in your head, what do you say to yourself? When you get up in the morning, what are you saying? What's the first thing you think about or say? Before you go to bed, when something difficult happens, what do you say? Start to think about the patterns and how you react and what you're saying out loud. You call yourself dumb, stupid, fat, slow, poor, you don't have this, you don't have that. How do you talk to yourself? And again, I really want you to spend time on this. This is important because in order to make change, you have to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset. Your mindset will determine how you see the world and what you believe is true. Okay? So, how do you talk to yourself? Be honest. And again, I'm not just talking about what you say out loud. Your subconscious thoughts. When you do something wrong, what do you say to yourself? I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. Again, when you look in the mirror, what do you say to yourself? I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'll never be anything. How many times have you said that to yourself in your life? How many times have you said those things? Yeah, so of course, it's going to be hard to change those thoughts. So this is a process, which is why I'm taking it slow with you. Okay? But you have to work on this if you want change. Because you will not get results, you will not go further, you will not sustain what we do if you do not do this first. This is your soil that you're nourishing. What are you putting in your soil? Okay? In order to change your mindset, right? You think you have to believe something. It's what you believe. So if you believe that you are ugly, no good, poor, whatever the thing is, it's going to be very hard to change it to the opposite of that. That you look good, you're sexy, okay, that you're wealthy. that you're strong and capable, that you're courageous. Because you are, and you have that potential inside of you. If you don't feel it right now, you do. And you can change your mind, the way you think about yourself and the way you talk to yourself. But it is a process. And it's deeper than just believing. See, now this is where people get caught up because they're like, and for a period of time when you start to do the things, I'm going to tell you how to change your mindset, some steps to take to change your mindset. And when you're doing it, initially, it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself because you've told yourself these things for so long, for years. You've told yourself these things, and then subconsciously you believe these things that you've told yourself. The story, we talked about that before. Your story. What is your story? Up to this point, what is the story that you're living? Your character in your life, what's the story? Who are they? What does it look like from the outside? You've told yourself this story. You've told yourself, like I said, you told yourself that you're dumb, you'll never be anything, whatever the things are. You're ugly, you don't look good, oh, look at that, look at this. I don't have this, I don't have that. All of these lack mentality thoughts, these limiting beliefs. You've told yourself that for so long. So you believe that. What we have to do is you have to know. We have to go from just believing to knowing that it's real, that it's true. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what you have to work on. This is nourishing the soil. We're putting what we want into the soil and we're nourishing it. But you have to know that your seed will grow deep inside of you, which is why I've talked about before. You have to have this identity. You have to know who you are, what story that you want. Okay, you are a co-creator. You choose how you move through this world and how you react to situations. So who is that person? What do they look like? Okay, and then you have that in your head and you're visualizing it. And you see that and you want to be that. But there's something there that's telling you can't be that because you've thought this other way for so long. So we need to get past that. But a big part about getting past that is like really knowing deep that it is possible that you are that person. And it will take some time to really know inside that you are and that it's possible. But if you keep working towards it, it's possible. And I'm going to give you some tips that's going to like shortcut it a bit for you. If you've tried this for a while now. So one big thing, and this might deter some people because just the word, because some words affect people in a certain way because they grew up and thought different things. But I'm going to tell you what works. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I've proven, and you do what you want with it. Okay. So big thing is hypnotizing yourself. So it's known that the TV can hypnotize you. Like, look at marketing. The Super Bowl just happened. There is a reason why they pay millions of dollars to have a 30-second commercial or 10-second commercial. There is a reason why. Because it works. It works. And then repetition. You see it. You see it. You see it. Has a little jingle. You see it. You hear it, even if you're not watching. It's getting into your subconscious. They know what they're doing. It's literal scientific fact. Okay? So knowing this information, why wouldn't you use it to your advantage? Again, like we're not going to play the victim anymore. Okay? We're going to take control of what we can take control of. And we're going to live life in the way that we can in the moment. All right? Because we're making that choice, that intentional choice to live it that way. So knowing this information, you can use it to your advantage. So we're talking about hypnotizing yourself. But what is hypnotism? Like, it's all hypnotism really is. And when you look at it and you watch anybody who's hypnotized other people, what it is you relax your body. Once you relax, you're in a state of relaxation. You are intensely focused on something to where it goes to your subconscious. That's what hypnotism is. And I hope that my audio is doing fine. I mean, if it's not, it sucks. I don't like that. But what can you do? But hypnotism would be focused attention in a relaxed state. Some could also call that meditation. um, you know, it's just being present and having a vision, having a thought, and being intensely focused on that. This is key. This is key. Now listen closely. To shortcut changing your mind into knowing a thought instead of just believing something and struggling with the belief because you're not quite sure, because you're not there yet. And can I really be this wealthy person? Can I really be that sexy person? Can I really lose that weight? So we can go from that to actually knowing it. And when you know it, when you're in the process and it's hard, you keep going because you know you're going to get there. It's inevitable that you will get there. So your shortcut, like I said, is this hypnotizing situation or meditation. Like I said, it's a focused state with relaxation. Okay, and you're focusing on something. So this is where the self-talk comes from. What are we focusing on? Okay, where your attention goes, grows. You get to choose where your attention goes. So again, why wouldn't you choose the things that are going to help you start to believe this new identity, this new version of yourself, the things that you want? You have to shift your perspective to get to this new place. You can no longer think those old thoughts. You're no longer that person. We have this new identity. We're no longer the person that sits on the couch and eats snacks and drinks the wine and just sits there and doesn't do anything. We're now this person that gets up and works out 3 to 4 times a week and drinks our water. Okay? So that person's going to have different thoughts. That person is going to start watching different things, listening to different things, eating different things. Okay? You may not be able to hang around the same people anymore because it's just different. You've now chosen a different story, a different identity. Okay, but again, to move into knowing that you are that person, that you can be there, you have to change your mindset. Some other ways that you can change your mindset, as far as this focused attention that I've been talking about, is looking in the mirror. Now, I asked you earlier, how do you talk to yourself? When you look in the mirror, how do you talk to yourself? What do you say? What do you think when you see yourself in the mirror? Can you even look at yourself in the mirror? Because some people can't. Which is unfortunate. So, when you look in the mirror, you can use that to your advantage. Remember, in a relaxed state, you focus on this thing that you want. So when you look in the mirror, relax yourself. Don't judge yourself. We're not picking apart ourselves. Okay? We're just in a relaxed state, looking at this person that is full of love. Okay? And we talk to them. And we say the things that we believe. We say the things that we want to know. That's one thing you can do. Another thing is affirmations. Everybody knows about affirmations. Some would classify that as, like, again, this positive thinking. It's not just that. Because you have to have repetition to it at that point. So you're repeating these things as often as you can. Once a day, twice a day, a couple times a week. Trying to repeat these things as often as you can. If you have not done this before, at least write down, a good 10, 12 things that you want to believe about yourself. You can start by, if this is hard for you to grasp, I would start with what you say to yourself now. Write it down. Write down those things you say to yourself in the mirror, those things you think about yourself, those things that other people have said about you and that you've internalized. Write those things down. Then on the other side, I want you to write the opposite of those things. What do you want to believe? I don't care how far-fetched it sounds to you right now, but put it on there. Okay? I want you to put that on there. And then I would tear it apart, burn this one, keep this one, and start reading those things to yourself in the mirror. Start using it as affirmations, or look up some other affirmations that kind of align with those to say. And, just continuously do this for a period of time. It's suggested that if you at least do 10 minutes a day for 4 days, 10 minutes a day for 4 days of a relaxed state and focused attention on what you're talking about, you can start to change your mindset drastically. If you don't believe me, try it. Like, what can you lose? What can you lose? You can also start to change your inputs. What are you reading? What do you watch? What do you listen to? Again, who are you hanging around, or the places that you frequent? What do those people say? How do they act? Is it aligned with who you want to be in these new thoughts, or is it not? Because if it's not, that's going to hinder you, and that's going to hold you back. Because on those days that you're weaker, those days that you're kind of struggling a bit more, and you're around it, that's going to seep back in, and it's going to add to that old thinking you had. So we have to be more intentional about those things. Like, start listening to certain podcasts, start watching certain YouTube videos aligned with how you want to be, who you want to be, those thoughts that you want to think. Start looking into that more. Focus on that again. Where your attention goes, grows. What are you watching? Maybe stop watching the horror and thriller stuff. Okay? And the crime shows. I know they're popular, but let's stop watching that, and all the news, and start watching, again, maybe some YouTube channels about things that are in line with where you want to go. Try it for the rest of this month and see how that goes. See what starts to happen. Okay? You want to keep your vision and keep these new thoughts in your face. Which means I write them on my mirror in the bathroom. I'll write those affirmations on the mirror. And so whenever I look in the mirror and I need to remind myself, I just look at those and start repeating it. Either out loud, inside, doesn't matter. But I just look at them and do it. It's a reminder. Okay? You can have them in your bedroom, in your closet. It's like a vision board as well. You have images of who you want to be, what you want. But these are like actual affirming words, affirming sentences to remind you of who you really are. Okay? You have to claim it. But you have to keep it in your face. You can't just say it one day and wait a week and do it again and wait another week. This has to be more of a consistent thing. All it takes is 10 minutes. Another thing that you can use is use some instrumentals. And as the instrumentals are playing, you can be reading your affirmations, saying those things to yourself. Again, you are choosing how you want to talk to yourself. You're not getting this input from the past and from other people in these past experiences, from this old person that you were. We're creating this new person, this new life, these new things that are going to come in. So you're constantly reminding yourself of those things, keeping it in your face. So this is going to build your belief internally, because then you'll also start to see changes in your life, especially if you're following the challenge and you're watching these lives and you're getting some information from each one. You're going to start to see change, movement in a forward direction, and that will give you more momentum. An object in motion stays in motion. But you have to get yourself in motion. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. Okay? So, again, we have to know, not just believe. So we're moving from believing into knowing. We created the identity, created the vision. We want this thing. We have the goals. That's great, fine and dandy. But if you don't believe that you can get those things, and you still have these old thoughts, you won't get there. This is key. This is key. This is a very important piece to move forward and to create sustainable results in your life, to continue to grow, have a growth mindset. Work on how you talk to yourself. This is important. Okay? Some things that I like to say is, I am courageous. I'm a great leader. I'm impeccable with my words. I'm intelligent. I'm divinely guided and protected. You can make up whatever you want to make up and say it to yourself. But you have to be consistent with it to start to not just believe it, but know it inside that it is true. Like, again, if you don't just take what I say, look it up yourself. Look into it yourself. You are writing your own story. Everybody has their own individual story. We all may experience some of the same things, or we're all here right now together, but you are writing your own story. And there's outside things that happen to you, but again, you choose how you react to those things, what you think about those things. Like, somebody could look at $100 and say, that's not a lot of money. That's change. That's like a $20 bill to me. But somebody else is like, oh my God, like that is a lot of money. Like, I needed that right now. It's a perspective. It's not just our situation they're in, it's a perspective. So if you change your perspective, you can change your life. Again, 10 minutes for 4 days. Try it out. 10 minutes for 4 days. You need to be in a relaxed state. Be in the present. Be relaxed. And focus your attention on what it is that you want to believe. Okay? Don't act like you're already there, because we all got some ways to go, some healing to do. Okay, so there are some things that you can start to believe. But yeah, I mean, you have to feel it inside. That's that knowing, is feeling it. You know that it's possible. You know that it will happen. And it won't, like I said, it won't start out like that initially. You have to put effort and energy into it to get it moving. Once you get it moving, you can know. You can pause, take that, remind yourself of who you are, what you're doing, and then be able to move forward and withstand the storms. Even if you get knocked down, you stay out for a little bit, but then you remember. Oh, remind yourself. Look in the mirror, remind yourself. Okay? And then you'll be able to get back up. And you'll know that you have a bigger purpose, bigger reason to keep going. You remember who you are, and you can keep going no matter what somebody says. Because people will try and talk down about you. They'll judge you. They will continue to remind you of your past. But you have to remind yourself. Again, nobody else is going to do it for you. So you have to take control. And this is something that you can change. So why wouldn't you try? Again, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. Why wouldn't you do it? You are trying to get in a state of knowing that you're already there. And trust me, you'll start to see things changing and you're all the better. So that's all I have for you today. I told you I was going to keep it pretty short today. I think I did, a bit shorter. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for sticking around with me on this challenge. I hope that you are gaining something from this. If you are, please like this video, leave a comment, send me a message. Just let me know. Also, just liking the video helps other people, because you know how social media is. And if there is something that you're not really understanding or grasping or have other questions for, again, just message me or leave a comment. I love to talk about this stuff, obviously, and I want to help. So, I want this information to actually help you. And so if you're missing something and not quite understanding it, just let me know so that I can help you understand it better or help you figure out how to implement it in your life. Okay. So again, thank you all for sticking around. This is week 3. What do we have next week? I don't have my phone in front of me. But I think we have next week, and then the following week after that, we're wrapping it all up. That's the end of February. And I'm going to announce the gifts as well. I'm going to announce them in the Facebook group first, and then I'll announce them out loud, the gifts that I have for those people who have actually did the challenge, and also for those who have shown up to the lives, who've commented and liked the videos. I'm gonna put names in the hat. I'm gonna pool. We're gonna have different gifts and things like that. We're gonna celebrate the ending of this challenge. And don't worry, if you didn't start on time with this, it's fine. Like I said before, you can do it. Start on any day. Just track it. Tag me in some things if you want. Because I will still give you a gift at the end of yours if you can prove that your habit challenge. But this is a timeless thing. It doesn't have to happen in February. This is a timeless thing. And this information is timeless as well. So, just join in whenever you can. Watch the recordings whenever you can. And don't forget to like the video so they can reach other people as well. And I will see you all next week, Monday, 8 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, we'll just keep moving forward. I'm working on my Spanish. If you didn't know, that's my habit for this challenge. And, making a little progress. I'm going to post a couple little videos of some of my progress here soon. But yeah, I hope you'll have a good week and take care.